Hello, everybody. Happy Christmas. I hope you have a very nice Christmas day. I just want to stop by briefly and really talk about something. I was talking to my son this morning. Um, how to be really not be anxious about things that really do not matter, or just cultivate the spirit of not having anxiety. You know, I read in the ancient wisdom they always talked about this discipline in our regular day that could really help us to be uh, not even getting the situations where it will be anxious and kind of prevent those kind of hurry burry running around things. Okay, those three things are very simple to implement, but you got to be uh, doing them regularly, right? So number one is whatever you have placed whatever stuff. Okay, we have a structure, right? We have a hall, we have a dining hall, we have a kitchen, we have bedroom, bathroom, things like that, right? So whatever stuff, whatever things you have taken from wherever they are, just return them back there. That way you don't have to flounder for them, you don't have to search for them, they are there. So only habit is that you used it and you returned it back to its place. So that's a very, very important daily thing that will not provoke this anxiety for us. Okay. And so you will have a regular routine where you are going to reach for the stuff that is good for you and all that, right? Uh, then you cultivated that habit of keeping things where they are, you know. You remember the important organization principle is find a place for everything and keep everything in its place, right? So now I'm asking, once you arrange that, once you know, then return them back to where they are. You will see when I go to all the three how this all ties up to not getting anxiety attacks unnecessarily, right? Then you will have mastery over anxiety because you have never allowed the thought to run like that, right? Suppose you have taken keys from the place it is supposed to be and then put it somewhere in the storeroom or somewhere, and you have forgotten about it. You are searching all the room, kitchen, everywhere, but you can't find it. But to begin with, if you have remembered where I got keys, I'm going to return it, then it's unlikely that you will be leaving them in places that you may have to go back after a long time. Okay, this all can produce a lot of anxiety in you because you have a job to attend or business to take care of or promises to keep and all that. That is there, right? So you just want to remember that, you know. And then the second one is once you have arranged everything in space and written everything, you know, you want to say, well, I'm being pretty organized, pretty together, and that's why these things are written back where they are and pretty organized that way, you know. And then remember, whatever work you want to do, unless it requires a lot of resources, a lot of employees, and all that, if it is something that you can do by yourself, do that right away. That way, there is no need to remember, there is no worry that I have not attended to that, and you have at least started it, at least did it at the same time. Okay, so whatever work that comes up, you know, try to do that at the same time, you know, that will be very good for you. Hello, Prasad. So that's a simple way to not to harbor the procrastination or delaying stuff and then worrying about them and then activating the anxiety mode. So that's a very simple thing to do, but many people think about some things, but they don't do, and they keep that in the back of their mind, which becomes the cause of anxiety. So, forgetting things, misplacing things, all that can lead to anxiety. Not able to do stuff, right away and procrastinating them, and then building up in your mind that is what's going on here. I have forgotten that I have not done it, so I should be doing that in the middle of something else. So that is the second one. So the first one is keeping everything in its place after the use. Second thing is whatever comes up, if you can do something, do it right away, right? And the third thing is this ability to let go whatever we feel, whatever we think, whatever we want to, uh, forgive people and all that is there. But in your mind, whatever that happened, that's it, let it go. And then go to the next one with full mind. Then the anxiety provoking thought patterns will not be there because you let it go. Okay? Accomplish things, do things, and after they are done, okay, forget it and go to the next one. This is very important because a lot of people retain angers, grudges, or so many things in their mind, right? And they carry that, especially when all the family members meet in the middle, then it will be like that, right? They will be bringing up stuff that happened last Christmas, and then they go on at it, and then they're going to establish who is right, who is not right, who is really doing it. It's a very common scene in the families, right? In the friends circle also. So even when you are working, a lot of people retain that. In the hospitals, we have these experiences with the nurses. We dare not say anything to the nurse because one nurse gets upset, the whole wing of nurses get upset. So you better, uh, catch your tongue or try to be nice to them, and otherwise they'll make your life miserable for the next 6 months. So they will never get let go if you really treat them nastily. So why do you have to treat them to begin with? They are the helpers, they are your augmenters, and then they also have some experience and knowledge that it can be useful for you and your patient too, right? I take that attitude, and so I kind of cautious about what I say, what I do, and how I show them everything. Little bit of respect, little bit of consideration, little bit of really treating them like equals. That helps me a lot. But I have seen this tendency among that staff will not get COVID. Physicians do some vaccine, but not as much as the nurses, in my experience. But if you're nice to them, they are really nice. So I can't complain about that. They have been very nice to me all these years, right? So I love nurses and their attitude, their helpful nature, and all that. But don't get them on the wrong foot by saying something. They will hold on to that. I've seen that with other physicians. So, in regular life also, how your mind functions, if you understand that, then you will understand the value of these three habits. Because the moment you don't find something, like the first one we talked about, keeping things where they belong, then that is not there causes a lot of problem. Depends upon the value of the object, but still, uh, general principle is because you did not get it, you saw some value of that object, and that is gone. Then that activates your mind. So this is all about that. What kind of activates the anxiety cycle? Breathes on itself each thought, and then that's where our yogic attention to the thoughts, slowing the thoughts and changing the negative to positive helps a lot. Okay, so keep it up in mind. The same phenomena happens when you postpone things, when you don't want to do something intention that you had. This is a big topic. the gap between intention and manifestation. You know, that's a big gap. That's a human condition too. Many people think or listen or participate in discussions and learn, whatever the way they have one particular thing that they want to do. They intend, but then somehow their system do not have. For example, they want to get up in the morning and do exercise, and this time of the year, many people make those resolutions, and each year I talk about this. New Year's resolutions. They want to lose some weight. There's a commonest one among the patients, and they may have so many other things, but this is a very common thing. And for that, they will say, "I'm going to eat better. I'm going to exercise better on a daily basis." Right? Then, when the time comes in the morning, the body won't cooperate and you can't get out of the bed, right? So that will go away. So understanding that your intellectual intention is only that, it has really no effect on your body or your as a whole, on the organism, right? The whole being is not ready, whereas your intellect made a decision in its thought and stayed there. It doesn't automatically translate into body following it. Okay, once you understand that, then you have to use some kind of force to do at least for 21 days. So let somebody else be committed, and then you both get up at the same time, or they make you get up and then they go to sleep their own way. So you need some help. Whether you wake up with a alarm, or you wake up with somebody else, and all that will be good, right? So many people don't understand this gap. They have this inner urge not to get up and go back to sleep, is the natural thing that they do. But the more you practice, the more this habit becomes part of that. Okay, that's why understand that. Okay, that is number two. Number three, like we said, leave things as they happen. This is a very mindful thing to do, very much in vogue, because people forget things that have happened and go to the new things with a fresh mind. This is called beginner's mind and completely free mind. Then you have all the faculties available to really accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. So forget about whatever happened in the past. It could be 1 year, yesterday, or this previous moment. Just let it go. And then once you are focusing on being in the present, that's when all these things fall off. Okay, so what you have to do is not to resist, not to fight the memories, but watch them and then be here and now for what you are doing. So if you do these three things, I'm going to talk more about these three things uh, in a lengthy way, probably tonight. Hi, Nazli. I think I'm talking a topic I think you would like it probably. So these three things, try to think about them and understand them, and then do them daily, at least partly. And also, the way to really get these things for many people is have some visual aid, write them down, and then put them in front of where you can see every day, and that becomes a problem. If you are already doing them, that's fine. I will repeat it for Nazli's sake. Nazli, we were talking about what are those three things that we could do every day that can prevent anxiety provoking thing, right? So by that way, you can also understand anxiety by understanding these mechanisms I described. Number one is keep everything in its place. If you have used something, return it back. Number two is whatever intention you had, whatever work you want to do it right away. Okay. And then number three is if there are things accumulated in your mind from the past, let them go. Let them go. The grudges, the hateful things, or whatever, right? So these three things, if you can religiously do every day, sincerely, You got to keep everything in its place, and then also try to return them back to where they belong. That's the simple process, but a lot of people have clothes all over the floor and the shoes all over like that. My own children are like that too. I kind of corrected them, but then you cannot expect them to be like that all of a sudden. If they have been living in such a different, they consider this as freedom. There's space. They're not supposed to go. But then, when they want to find something, they have a hell of a time because they don't know where it is lost, right? So find place for things and then return them to where they belong after use. That's number one. Number two is um, uh, don't postpone, just do them as they come through. The intention and the execution. That is where the gap is, and the humankind is like that. It's not one particular person. We are like that. We think about so many things. We intend a lot of it, but then when it comes to the execution time, we kind of delay. You know. And then the third thing is letting go of unnecessary thing and keeping the mind and the beginner's mind. We'll talk more about it much more deeply, and it may make much sense. And then we'll examine the structure of the this anxiety mechanism as a whole, and how can we identify some states where we need medication, and then how you can slowly withdraw the medication and also develop this natural ways to be here and now. All those things we'll talk about it. So I was just introducing. Today happened to be Christmas. I was home, and I thought I would just go and share with you a few, and then convey my Christmas greetings. And my son and daughter are here, so we'll have lunch in a few. That's why I thought I have some 15 minutes here, so we can talk to them. Okay. Any questions, either of you? We'll meet again tonight if anybody wants to come. Then I'll talk about it. Maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow also for people to miss. I'm open on the wisdom, and I'm open on the clubhouse and also today. So anybody wants a question, so you can send them to me or you can ask me now. Okay, couple of minutes. Okay, I will see you tonight then. Okay, bye bye.